foreign experts talking on gasification technologies on that and benefits, and our members, we'll be inviting them, are welcome to take part in that. This thing. We know about the gasification mission and some of the initiatives that we have suggested as that, just listed that just for your brief this thing, and some of the initiatives taken by the Government of India. But we are very actively pursuing to see that this initiative, and also from the national perspective, that coal can be utilized and can be used in a cleaner, greener way. And also a lot of other products can be manufactured through coal. I think there lies the energy solution for the country as well. So anybody who needs to know about details, we have a stall here in the exhibition as well on that, and we'll be happy to really answer any question and help you with our activities there. We'll move on to the presentations there. First of all, I will invite Professor Utkin. He's a mining engineer from the Institute of Mines, Moscow. He is also the former Deputy Director General of the Stochensky Institute of Mining during 23-24 here. He is now driving the Stochensky Institute of Mining Underground Coal Gasification LLC, a company that he's driving that. He has worked in mines in Donbass and other Arctic regions, and he's a postgraduate studies at the Moscow Mining Institute and specializing in the underground coal gasification. He has experience in the design and construction of several equipment for the underground coal gasification, and it's done in the mines of the Donbass. So first of all, Professor Utkin, please come over and make your presentation. Thank you.
Dear colleagues, as you can hear, my English live to wish much better, so I need some help from my papers, if you don't mind. First of all, I would like to sincerely thank the organizers of this wonderful forum for the opportunity to address such an enlightened audience. The topics that are touched upon today cannot but worry every mining engineer who feels his responsibility for the processes taking place in our common home or our common planet. Now the world is becoming more and more wary of the use of coal as an energy source, since it is necessary to recognize that the global coal mining industry bears a certain share of the blame for the emission of pollutant into the atmosphere. Thanks. For the atmosphere, for the alienation of agricultural land for industrial enterprises and dumps of mining enterprises of both open pit and mine type. To a large extent, this is true. I ask you to take a look at some photos taken from the bird's eye view. These are Bachatsky and Korkinsky open mines in the Kuznets coal basin. Compare the magnitude of the environmental damage with the full-fledged cities in the background. Maybe the mine method of coal mining causes less harm. Take a look at this photo of my hometown. This is a terrible spot, similar to the ominous tumor, a dump of mined rock. Compare its size with the size of the city in which up to 17,000 people live now. These are direct consequences of the activities of coal mining enterprises. One can only guess how much damage was caused to the atmosphere due to gas and dust emissions. In addition, as the great Russian chemist Mendeleev wrote, using oil as fuel is like heating a stove with banknotes. This applied no less to coal. Deep processing of coal in order to obtain products with high added value, primarily coal gasification, can help with this. Thus, the volume of rail transportation during one city coal processing can be reduced by from 5 to 7 times. In many countries, gasification of coal had been turned to, and as a result, 10 years ago, 30% of polyvinyl chloride, 24% of ammonia, 22% of methanol, and 5.5% of monoethylene glycol produced in the world were obtained using this method. The Indian government at the India Gasification 2022 conference made a wise decision to implement a program for deep processing of coal. The plan set by the government and personally by Prime Minister Narendra Modi requires significant efforts, but they will undoubtedly be implemented through your beautiful country. But in order to gasify coal, it still needs to be extracted from the subsoil, right? No. In many cases, this is not at all necessary. In the USSR, in the 30s, 70s of the last century, the technology of underground coal gasification, the so-called UCG, was developed, repeated, tested. The technology was brought to industrial production with the production of energy gas of low and medium calorific value and its partial use as a raw material for the chemical industry. So back in 1963, about 75% of the total volume of xenon, 25% of argon, and 35% of hyposulfite were obtained as byproducts at Podzem gas station in the USSR. In total, 5 million tons of coal were mined in the USSR using UCG technology, and 50 billion cubic meters of coal synthesis gas were obtained. Almost all of these projects, including the South Abinsk and Angren stations, which have been operated for more than 50 years each, were carried out under the leadership of the direct participation of Skochinsky Institute of Mining, SIM, the country's main coal institute. Why is UCG technology now used in the Russian Federation on an extremely small scale? The answer is simple and unexpected. The development of coal gasification in Russia is hindered by two factors: the abundance of natural gas and fixed state prices for it. Coal is simply not able to compete with gas. As for the rest of the world, it seems that the bias against UCG is probably due to the fear that UCG technology could in the very near future be a serious competitor to traditional coal mining methods. However, interest in UCG is starting to revive. So there is an understanding that unprofitable coal mines can survive, but becoming part of vertically integrated enterprises compensated their cost from the final cost of high-tech product such as synthetic liquid fuel, urea, methanol, dimethyl ether. UCG is waiting for its investor. For example, in Russia, a quite wealthy company, Tatneft, engaged in the exploitation oil fields in the Republic of Tatarstan, become interested in the possibility of developing coal deposits located with its oil fields at a depth of more than 1,000 meters and offered the CIMFR company to develop a scheme that would allow to fulfill this unique task. Of course, such a scheme was proposed by the CIMFR. In this regard, it should be recalled that cooperation between the Russian and Indian sides in the field of the UCG has a long history. For example, the Skochinsky Institute of Mining, under the agreement with ONGC IRS, performed work under several contracts, ranging from determining the suitability of 11 coal deposits in India for UCG mining, and ending with scientific support for the construction of a pilot gas generator at the Vastan block in the Gujarat state. For example, the Kasta block, Raniganj field, Jharkhand state, where additional exploration work is currently underway, was also studied for the possibility of using UCG technology. It would seem that any UCG methods is based on a general principle. Nevertheless, the variability of various UCG schemes is approaching infinity. Over the past time, scientists and engineers of the Russian Federation have significantly improved the UCG technology and are ready to offer their Indian colleagues both of classical, the so-called flow design of underground gas generators and its improved versions. The CIMFR company, which brought together key specialists who were engaged in UCG in the SIM and other specialized institutes and organizations of the USSR and Russia, developed and patented a technological scheme in which, in particular, carbon dioxide, which is the most critical topic for environmentalists, will take part in the process of increasing the calorific value of UCG syngas and in some other processes. According to the scheme, carbon dioxide is not only buried in the Earth's depths, but also from a parasitic problem factor becomes a useful component